What's up, guys? I'm here with my friend Derek.
I'm Derek. I'm American. I'm from Texas. You're from Seattle, Washington, right?
Portland, but close to Seattle.
So like we're totally from different states with totally different ideologies and beliefs and different ways of living and stuff like that. I moved to Sweden roughly 2 years ago, so I've been living here a little bit longer than Stefan, but I would say that we probably have a lot of similarities between us because we both are Americans who live in Sweden.
Definitely.
And we've also met previously through YouTube, actually.
Yeah.
And had a few beers and shared our thoughts with each other. And it turns out we're a lot alike.
Yeah, it is crazy. Like the experiences we've both had being Americans coming to Sweden, like seeing all those like same things. And coming from two totally different parts of America and still like seeing those commonalities is really, really cool.
Yeah.
He's also got a YouTube channel. I was super excited to see that there was another American around here making some YouTube videos. So we thought we'd do a video together for you guys about 5 pros and cons about living in Sweden.
The first pro to me, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, the first pro to me that like really was just a mind blow, like it was just mind blowing to me, was fika. I'm not gonna lie, fika is the shit. I'm being completely honest. Like the first thing I think of when I think of Sweden is moose, fika. And Noko, shout out Noko.
Noko, dude, your Noko is like my bear bells, I feel like, dude. I'm eating a bear bell every single day. You're loving the Nokos. But that's actually my first pro of Sweden, is all like the healthy stuff that they have in Sweden.
Oh yeah.
It's like you go to the store, like when I bring my American friends to Sweden and we go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the heck? They got protein, everything. And they got the hella good protein bars, protein coffee.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Wow, protein coffee, that is insane. And like Kvari is basically like a high protein yogurt.
Yeah.
Like there's just so much healthy stuff, and it's kind of mind-blowing, and I think that's definitely a pro for Sweden, because I like to try to stay as healthy as possible.
Dude, like all right, hold up real fast before you even go further, man. Like the first thing that really stuck out to me was the coffee that you just mentioned. That goes hand in hand with my fika, so it's kind of like we're sharing the same opinions.
Protein and coffee, gotta make the gains and get your caffeine at the same time.
The craziest thing about coffee here in Sweden is like it's real coffee. It's not like that shitty Starbucks that they have in America. No offense to you guys who like Starbucks, but like you go to Espresso House or Cafe Charm or any of the little small cafe joints here, you go and you have a coffee. Like it's a legit coffee. They know how to make coffee here in Sweden. They really do.
See, in the Pacific Northwest where I'm from, we're known for having like pretty strong coffee as well. But then I came to Sweden and I'm like, wow, there's other people out here that are also making strong coffee.
Oh, they ain't messing around.
So yeah, I guess the further north you go, maybe the stronger you have to have your coffee.
Oh, they don't play with their coffee out here, bro.
They're not messing around.
They're dead serious about it, man.
My first con is gonna be the high taxes that they have in Sweden. I mean, I work my butt off as a teacher, and I get about 1/3 of it taken away by the government, and that's like a pretty high tax rate. I figured out in America I'd be paying like pretty much about half of what I'm paying, and here I'm basically paying double in taxes. So it's pretty mind-blowing, because in America, like the tax bracket you fall into, like let's say you're in like the 30% tax bracket, you only get taxed 30% on that like top amount of money that you made that's past all those original parts. So like the first like $10,000 you make or whatever, you don't even get taxed on that. So it's pretty mind-blowing. Like I feel like America has much lower taxes, especially for like just us normal folks. So that is kind of crappy, but you do get a lot of benefits for it in Sweden, which that's kind of a pro. But I'm gonna just stick with the cons. Like,
but don't you're about to have so many haters jump in your comments like the taxes are important. The taxes are important.
You do get a lot of good things for the taxes.
It's true.
But I had to come up with some sort of cons about Sweden. It ain't easy to come up with bad stuff about Sweden.
Nah, but I'm gonna keep it 100. Like I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be completely honest. The taxes are crazy out here. Now I understand exactly why the taxes are high. I can get it. It makes sense to me. I really do understand it. But the only thing to me is, taxes are so freaking high, man. Like they're not playing around with them.
No, they are
like,
not.
Dude, like they tax everything.
Everything. But I do have to say, to file your taxes in Sweden
it's a lot
is
easier.
the easiest thing ever.
It's
you just like open the app on your phone, and the government already did all the, like, your tax papers for you, and you just press OK. Like, it took me over 12 hours to do my American taxes.
Oh yeah.
While I'm living in Sweden. Like, that is the craziest thing to try to do. It's so convenient here in Sweden. You just click a button,
you don't really pay any money to do your file your taxes.
No,
in
like
America,
people,
you go to H&R Block.
That's a big business. Accountants and lawyers are doing your taxes, and here it's like, I got money back. I didn't even do anything. I just pressed OK, and they sent me another 300 crowns in the mail.
And the best part about, like, the good thing about the taxes, other than like all the benefits from the taxes and whatnot, even though taxes here are really high and I don't really like it either, the good thing about it is, like, Sweden is so, like, how do you put it? Sweden is so organized when it comes to information and technology and different things. Like, when it comes to keeping accountability for things, they're extremely organized. Like, they don't play around. So they keep account of, like, everything that you do, pretty much, in a sense. And and I don't like it to an extent, but at the same time, I kind of do like it, because then it helps you to not drop the ball when it comes to certain things.
It's true.
And, like, I think it might be harder for you to, like, mess up on your taxes here in Sweden. Like, as opposed, like, I did taxes a couple years ago, and, like, the IRS was hitting me up like, oh, you owe us money. I was like, dude, there's no way I owe you guys money.
It's confusing to do American tax. All the, like, special laws and stuff, and especially when you move to a foreign country and you gotta file, like, how does this income fit with this income, and
the
then
legal
this
jargon
income
to it, bro.
Oh, and all the legal, dude, that's another thing.
It's like another language.
A lot of the, like, paperwork or, like, official documents in America is like, normal people can't read that.
No,
it's like very, very, like, fancy English, and it's like very much legal jargon. Like, even looking at, like, the immigration policies and stuff, here you go to the Swedish, like, migration office, and it's like, it's pretty much laid out in, like, plain, even in English, in Swedish and English, like, exactly what you have to do, and all, like, the official forms and stuff, I feel like are a lot, like, easier to figure out. So they kind of take care of you in that way a little bit.
I would say my con, like, my first con, it's not on the highest list, but my first con is when it comes to the Swedish language, how easy it is to butcher it, bro. Ooh. Like, there's so many words. You got, like, Swedes literally have a word for freaking everything.
Dude, like, it's crazy.
For example, free, like, you could say gratis, you could say fri, you could say ledig. Like, there's so many different ways to say it, and then a lot of words sound alike as well. Like, you have fika, flikta. I'm not gonna say the other one.
Yeah, careful with that one.
But like flita, fika, and then, like, it's easy to mess up words and say the wrong things.
Or, dude, the vowels is what gets me.
No, the consonants is what gets me, bro.
Really?
Yeah, bro, because they have so many words that go together, and when you put the words together, it's like I don't know how they do it. Like, it's like you're rolling your words way too hard, and it sounds pretty crazy, man. Dude, and it's kind of weird, bro.
For me, it's the and
oh yeah, that's
like those three letters. I'm still, like, trying to, like, if I'm writing a word, like, I literally don't know which vowel it is, and, like, when I try to, like, text on the Swedish keyboard on my phone, it'll, like, completely autocorrect to a complete, like, different word that I didn't want, because I don't know which vowel it is, and I gotta, like, backspace a whole bunch and try it with each vowel separately, and until I'm like, oh yeah, there's the word I wanted.
No, man, the biggest part for me, other than, like, how many words there are and how much words sound alike, the biggest problem for me with the Swedish language is the fact that they don't really have any specific rules. So instead of enhus, it's ethus. Why? No one knows.
That's true.
Enche instead of etsche. So there's, like, they put masculinity pronouns for nouns or verbs and stuff like that. And I don't want to get into the grammatics. I'm not an English teacher. All I know is, like, they don't have any true rules, and then the way they structure their sentences is just ass backwards.
It's
bro.
A little different.
Like, for example, there's many ways to say one thing, but, like, you can be like, I'm going fishing, and you can say, I'm going fishing now. You can say, jag ska fiska. But if you're going to say, I'm going fishing now, it's jag ska fiska nu, or nu ska jag fiska. So you put now, going, I, fishing. Doesn't make sense to me.
For me, I feel like that part of the Swedish was much easier because I spoke quite a bit of German before, and they do, like, very, very, very similar, like, word ordering.
Yeah, that shit's weird to me,
And
bro.
so yeah, the German and Swedish languages are actually really similar, but for me what gets me still with the Swedish is the pronunciation of things. I mean,
because you can mess it up so
I
bad.
mess it up real bad. Like, people can instantly tell I'm not from here when I start speaking Swedish. Like,
and like me, dude, like I do a lot of like Swinglish and stuff. Like I've been living here a little bit longer than you, so like I've learned a lot of Swedish, and like, but I still mess it up all the time. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna just jump into another con too. I know people have different social standards and different cultural beliefs and stuff like that, but I'm from America, and I mean, in certain places in America, you're legally able to marry your first or second cousin. In some places,
I don't know what places.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. I think it's in Georgia you can marry your second cousin. Actually,
I haven't been to those places.
But here in Sweden, but like all around the board, like the legal age for consent is like, if you're an adult and you're over the age of 18, the legal age of consent is like 17 to 18. It's mostly 18 though. Yeah, and if you go under 18 and even sometimes under 17, then it's statutory rape, and it's a big no-no. But here in Sweden, it's normal for like 21-year-olds to date 16-year-olds and live with them and stuff. I think that's
mind-blowing
sick,
to me. That is mind-blowing to me. Like 15, I think is just a little bit too young for the age, especially coming from America where it's 18.
Oh yeah.
And I just think like when I was 15, I could not imagine like being ready for like those sorts of commitments that sort of thing brings about. So I think it's like really, really bizarre.
Yeah.
Even 18 is really young. So one of my pros, I gotta say that Swedes are honestly very genuine, very honest, down to earth people when you meet them. Now, as we were saying, like, they can be reserved on the outside, but like once you get to know Swedes, this is something that we both really agree with. Like, once you get to know them, they're like friends for life.
Oh yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
They're the kind of people that we're always gonna have your back. Swedes are really, really like real awesome people in that way, and that's one of the things that I love most about Sweden. I mean, I can put up with the cold winters and stuff because the people in this country are so awesome when you get to know them. And that's honestly my number one, I think, pro and favorite thing about Sweden.
All of my best friends, like, most of my best friends that are truly, I can say, are truly my best friends that I know will do anything for me, they are from Sweden. And I've met them within the last year, and they're already like this with me. And I know that if I ever needed anything from them, they would help me out, and I would do the same for them. And there's no ifs, ands, whats about it. They are truly down to ride. They're really ride or die people.
Yeah, I mean, I've got friends in America that I grew up with that have been like day ones, and it's like they're like family to me. Like, but that's really like rare in America. I only have like maybe a few people in America that are like that level of like close, like I can totally trust this dude, like he's basically a brother. But like at the same time, like in Sweden, I feel like I've found other people that I can just relate to on such a level where it's like, wow, these people are really awesome. And so it's good to be around.
Bro, I like the fact that Swedes are like extremely laid back. Like, they're very laid back and open-minded when it comes to a lot of things. Not everything, but for a lot of things, they're very laid back. And I love the fact that Swedes agree to disagree. I love that about Swedes. Like, if they don't share the same opinions or views and stuff like that, most of the time, if you get into a discussion with them and it's not going the way it should, they'll just agree to disagree with you.
Dude, I wish Americans would have that mindset, because I don't know how many times people in America have tried to like convince me and sell me on either their religious views or they're a vegetarian and they got to explain to me why I shouldn't be eating meat or all these things. They feel like they've got to like explain their side, and it's like, why can't we just agree to disagree?
Bro, people in America, like, not everybody, but people in America, you can lose friendships if you don't have the same viewpoints or opinions about certain things. Like, people will literally be like, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Like, over stupid shit.
It's almost more confrontational. Whereas people in Sweden are very accepting of if you do have a different viewpoint, like, it's okay. Like, you can move past that. My con, I have to say, this one is one that has personally affected me, have to be the wait times at the migration agency. Like, I don't want to be a hater, but right now the current wait times for my work permit extension are like 14 months.
It's like at
average.
Least 14 to 18 months, man.
It's absolutely nuts.
It's sick.
I feel like just so many people have been moving to this country at the same time that it is really, really difficult on those people. I know some people that work at the migration agency, and they're awesome people.
Yeah, they are.
But they just have way too much work to do, and I feel bad for them, honestly. But like on the flip side, like it sucks like not having valid paperwork for this length of time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wish like we did it like how they did in Denmark, where it's like if you're waiting for a work permit and they know it's going to be a long time, they will give you like some paperwork while you're waiting so you can enter and exit and enter the country without any issues.
For real?
Yeah.
Dude, I've been working on my Danish all week, man. I'm about to be there.
I'm going to Copenhagen on Saturday.
No, I'm kidding.
So yeah, it's like kind of scary for me to leave Sweden because I've got to bring like contracts and expired permits and all these things and like try to prove it to these border patrols of different countries that I'm legally allowed to be in Sweden, which I shouldn't have to feel like that way after I've already been living here for a year. That's just my opinion. So I mean, that is something that it's definitely a con for me.
Yeah.
But that's just one of the things about moving to any foreign country. There are going to be challenges along the way.
Bro, my con, to be real with you, my con is in Swedish culture. Now, it's not a big deal. Like, I understand it, and I think it's actually really nice that Swedes do this. But I also think it's kind of like, you should be more honest. A lot of Swedes, many times, they do what is knyta näven under bordet type of thing. Like, they clench their fist under the table. Yeah. So they don't really speak up about their opinions or how they truly feel inside. Yeah. So, like, where I'm from, like, we have the First Amendment, right? You know, freedom of speech. As long as you're not slandering somebody's name or tarnishing their reputation by telling lies, you're able to say whatever you want. Yeah. And
Americans will take it to the next level.
Yeah,
too.
Bro. They'll openly be like, I'm racist.
Yeah.
But in Swedes, you'll have like, and I'm not saying it's everybody, but there is a small fraction here in Sweden where, there's a small fraction here in Sweden for sure, where it's like people, if they feel a certain way about something, they don't really like to speak up about it, but then they'll turn around and then they'll, go through with it. Like some Swedes, I'm not saying everybody, but there is a small population of Swedes that are quite racist. And I can get why they're racist, but at the same time, man, it's 2018. And if you are racist, just say it out loud. I mean, just say it out loud. Yeah. You're being offensive by not saying it anyway, so just be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough topic. But I feel like, in general, the Swedes are more reserved. Yeah. And so they're less likely to express their opinions, positive or negative. Oh, yeah. Like, I've had a lot of instances where people have either made comments or sent messages to me on Instagram or something that, they saw me, but they didn't want to like disturb me, so they didn't want to say hi to me at that moment. But then they would write this on social media. Yeah. And it's like, I feel like in America, people would just kind of come up to you and say, hey.
Bro, we're normal people. We just make videos and we share our lives with you guys, but we're completely normal people. And we're not like super major celebrities or anything like that. We're just normal guys who share our opinions and talk to people. Yeah. And if you feel like you want to say hi to us, or we've impacted you in some kind of way, or you enjoy watching us, just say hi, because that's going to make us feel really great. And then we're going to be able to connect with you, and hopefully you feel good by it as well.
Yeah, it feels great when people come up and say hi.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I really like that feeling to know and get to meet the people that are watching my stuff. And be like, wow, people are watching. Like, I am making a difference with this content that I've been putting out.
Yeah, so it is. That's a great thing.
I think it's a great feeling.
Yeah. Yo, but as a pro, for real, like, one of the biggest pros to me, like, that blows my mind about Sweden, I'm not gonna lie, like, one of the craziest things to me is Swedes know how to turn up. Y'all know how to party, and y'all don't mess around either. Like, y'all are some serious alcoholics. Like, for real, y'all can outdrink anybody. It's crazy. Like, I don't know if they can outdrink Russians, but Swedes, they're pretty close, man. Like, Swedes, like, and they know how to turn up to have fun. Like, their festivities, and like, they always have different games and like different get-togethers. Like, y'all legit, like, y'all make the most of your time. I love that. Like, y'all really celebrate and have a good time.
Yeah.
Even during the winter time, like, bro, pre-parties here in Sweden, whole nother level.
And my pro to add on to that is gonna be like, I think the Swedish nightlife is actually really, really good when you look at like, if you look at restaurants, bars, and clubs, like, restaurants in Stockholm and Norrköping I've been really impressed with.
Not Sundsvall.
Sundsvall's a little smaller.
That's why I'm moving to Stockholm.
But Stockholm's got amazing restaurants.
Oh yeah.
Nightlife, there's a ton of great clubs and
everywhere.
things. Everywhere. Really awesome things to do if you want to go out and dance and have a good time. And then also there's a lot of cool little pubs and things if you just want to like go, like we watched World Cup games or something, for example. Like it was really cool that they had all these things that you could do. I think it was a really good nightlife scene in general.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's really nice out here.
Yeah,
I like it.
But that leads into my con, which is everything is so dang expensive in this country.
Gosh,
if you want to go out for drinks or you want to go into these clubs that we were just mentioning, you better bring a lot of, not cash, because you don't need cash to pay for anything, but you better have a full bank account to pay for some of these things.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. It blows my mind. Like, I'm from Texas, and in Texas you can get a nice bottled beer for like 75 cents to $1.25, which is like 8 Swedish kroners. And like you could legit get like a pint, or not a pint, but a pitcher of alcohol like from like 9 to 11 for $1. Now it might just be a lager or some type of light beer, but it's still $1 for a pitcher of beer.
Dude, that Texas price is even cheaper than what I was used to.
Tell me why I can pay like $3, maybe $3.25 for a double Jack and Coke, and they don't measure it. Bro, I came here and I was like, I want a Jack and Coke, and they were like 3 or 6. I was like, no, I just want 1. And they were like, no,
3 or 6.
Yeah, and they were trying to size it.
Yeah.
And I asked for a 6 because I was like, you know, that's what I like. That's my drink of choice. And they charged me like $12 for a Jack and Coke.
Wow.
I should have just bought a bottle.
Yeah, you could. Jeez. In America, you can buy the whole bottle for the price of
2 drinks, man. It's crazy.
And it's not just alcohol that is expensive.
Clothes.
Like camera gear, clothes. And like the camera I'm shooting on now, I had to buy it in America and bring it over just because it was like literally $1,000 difference.
Same.
Between the camera having me to buy it here or there, and like my drone, unfortunately I had to buy in Sweden, and that cost me about $500 extra just in like special taxes. Now rent is something that we might differ on actually, because maybe Texas is a little bit cheaper.
Way cheaper.
Portland, Oregon, like in Portland rent is quite expensive. I'm actually living much cheaper in Norrköping than I lived, maybe even half of what I would be paying.
Not me.
I mean, Portland is basically the equivalent of Stockholm, I would say, in terms of rent prices. Alright guys, with that being said, we're gonna wrap this video up. I hope you enjoyed hearing us just kind of ramble on a little bit about some of the things that we like and dislike.
Pretty random.
About Sweden. Pretty random, but maybe you guys will get something out of this video. If you liked it, go ahead and press like or share it or do whatever you like to do, and go check out Dereck's stuff. He's new to the YouTube scene, but I think he's doing pretty good so far, so go ahead and check that out as well.
Like and comment. Subscribe.
Absolutely. You guys know the drill. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video.